So last video, I only used the same 2 perks in every single match. This video, I'm gonna let myself experiment. What does Venture with higher mobility and ult look like? Or Venture with longer range? Well, let's find out. Match 1 on Runasapi. 2 videos in a row. Anyways, Runasapi. Our Tracer had no balls to jump in there and get a kill. That's, I guess, one way to play Tracer. But overall, we were winning. Keyword there is were, because after they counterpicked Mauga against our Hog, I tried telling the Hog that it doesn't really work playing into a Mauga. He should swap to someone like Diva. And what was our very intelligent tank's response to this? Press tab. I didn't use what you
Wait,
said.
we're losing. You guys do nothing. I had to do everything for this team. Our DPS have done absolutely nothing. How dare you? How dare you? I am so done.
So, because our tank was too busy thinking a Hog can fight a Mauga, we lost. We lost the most winnable match ever. Fucking thank you, Butterfly Man. Get on the list. You can go right next to Tablet Toucher. Also, by the way, thank you for having my back on that one, Femboy Slayer. I hate that I just had to say that. And, you know, what certainly didn't help is that our Hog also thought pulling a Mauga into all of us was a good idea. Take it from the former tank main. Don't queue up for tank unless you know your tank matchups. This is the Overwatch 2 way. For as long as 5v5 exists, this is how you need to play the game as a tank player. Your team depends on you to make the right decisions and for you to work well with them. More than any other player on the board, you support your team. DPS or support die, you say big whoop. But if your tank dies and the others just fine, well, your team best get the Hiddly darn heck out of there. The tank is the most important part of the team. When the tank falls, so does the team. But okay, besides that, what of the perks? Well, I found out that I was sleeping on the 300% ability charge during ult. That added mobility kind of makes Tectonic Shock useful. Being able to just speed into the enemy team actually just makes the ult a whole lot more better to use. Before this perk, Tectonic Shock was a really good ult assuming no one dodged it. It can easily be dodged by Ashe, Baptiste, Bastion, Brigitte, Cassie, David, Doomfist, Echo, Genji, Hanzo, Hazard, Ilari, Junkrat, Juno, Kiriko, Lifeweaver, Lucio, Mauga, Mei, Mercy, Moira, Orisa, Pharah, Ramacho, Reaper, Reinhardt, Sigma, Sojourn, Sombra, Smetra, Tracer, Venture, Widowmaker, Winston, Wrecking Ball, Zarya. Oh my god, he did that with one breath. Oh, with Excavation Acceleration, however, you can catch one of those more mobile targets. I mean, that doesn't account for any of those vertical targets, but it works enough. I mean, ult should have weakness, but Original Tectonic Shock kind of only had weaknesses, with the advantage that it sometimes killed. And yes, you might compare it to something like Diva Bomb, but what is a big burst of damage that can't be out-healed and can be placed to kill anyone, meanwhile the person using it can hide behind a wall? Shock? Well, it sure could kill. It could. It most certainly could. It just probably wouldn't. This perk gives the ult the extra charge that makes it have some sort of usefulness. It just kind of sucks that it is locked behind a perk. I really hope they can remove this one and just add it to Venture's kit, because now I kind of can't play without it. It's like if you remove Genji's dash reset with a Zarya result, it just wouldn't feel right. Anyways, that was a big long tangent. What about 25% more range? Nope, I still hate it. My muscle memory is locked to that previous range, and having melee to heal me is just too good for Venture. Why would I choose a perk that morphs Venture into a mid-range hero as opposed to just strengthening what Venture's already good at? Venture from a mid-range just doesn't really work. They're not made for that. Sure, it can be good against a Pharah or Echo, but sometimes you just don't really need it. Realistically, a bigger splash range or fast projectile speed would be a lot more useful. It would allow them to keep their regular playstyle while giving them the opportunity to better handle those pesky flying heroes. Oh, and before the rest of the video goes on, I just want to say, the last couple of videos have done really well for my channel. The only problem is only about 1% of people are actually subscribing. And this really sucks, because I really would like to hit 10k subscribers by the end of this year. So if you're even at all interested in this series, I have an entire year's worth of content ready for you. So why not start off early and subscribe right now? You already know the basic things that subscribing does, but whenever you hit the subscribe button, that increases the odds of someone else coming across my channel. So if you want to help me out immensely, just hit that button, and I promise you it will be well worth your while. Alright, enough ranting for now. Game 2. How did that one go? I got push again. Huh. So God does have least favorites. Wait, is that why I was born male? So remember how last game we pushed mere meters away from the end, only to get steamrolled for the next 5 minutes, and then the tank blames us despite them themselves making questionable decisions as well? Well, it happened again! But hey, at least there's no way for this exact same situation to happen for a 3rd time in a row! Are you fucking... Okay, that didn't actually happen. But can you imagine if it did? Game 1 on Oasis started with me doing a funny, followed by a loss. But you know what? Just because you aren't winning frame 1 doesn't mean you can't start to win later on. As proved by round 2 where I proved my value by getting an immediate pick onto the Sojo. Okay, actually that one was really more their fault, if anything. Now, the second battle, I would actually repeat this behavior as I got them off the map again. But surely they would learn. Well, the Sombra certainly didn't. But the Sojourn, after falling twice, certainly she wouldn't. No. I have a big fuck off drill. It pushes people. Stop fighting the person with the big fuck-up drill that pushes people near the ledge! It didn't work the last 3 times someone did it, why would the 4th time be any different? It was this fumblement of the enemy DPS that led to us taking the point and ultimately being able to win the match. But next match would have to be different. Next match, surely people wanted you fool! Okay, let me explain something to you. Venture has the best boop in the game. Don't believe me? Almost all boops in the game, while sending you outwards, will also push you up in the air just a bit. This gives you ample time as many heroes to use some sort of movement ability to get out of the way from the ledge. Wanna know which one doesn't send you upwards? Venture boop! If you get placed above a bottomless pit by a Lucio, you have a chance as certain heroes to save yourselves. As Venture, however, nope, it's straight down to the hell for you. Die! Seriously, if you fight a Venture near the ledge, the first thing they are going to try and do is boop you off. And more than likely, unless you have major abilities that can almost always guarantee your ability to get right back up, it's not gonna work out in your favor. Especially on maps like Rialto with water. Even as a character like D.Va, you can easily find yourself trapped in a situation where you're going to die just because the kill plane is that close. If I were a Lucio, a Roadhog, or basically anyone else, you would have so much time to see this and get yourself back up. As Venture, it is basically a straight shot down into the abyss. And realistically, Venture mains, sometimes you need to play with the mindset of a Lucio. Going for boops can be a very quick and easy way to kill people. Sometimes truly all it is one kill of the tank away from winning you guys the match. If you can do it, it is almost always worth it. Now, last video I explained how Venture can be easily countered by a Widowmaker, just like every other character in the game. This video I will remind you that if Venture can close that gap, oh, there is no chance. Now, this game kinda just ended. We were just a better team overall. However, with that, I managed to hit Platinum 4, so that was lay epic. But going back to the topic of Widows, next game I killed the enemy Widowmaker once. And she decided to make me the enemy of her entire family line for that. To which I said, that's not gonna help you though. That's not gonna help you though. That's right, Venture Nation. You can fight Pharahs. Sometimes you can fight them so good that in their quest to counter Venture, they swap off Pharah into someone else. And then you can continue to diff them. The next game was more the same. My ego, however, was being raised up a fair bit. I started singing the Jaws theme whenever I would push. This is actually something Venture can do really well. You can make someone who realistically might be able to do something simply run away at the pure threat of your existence. You want to find out if I can kill you, or do you want to back away from your team? Yeah, that's what I thought. I actually terrorized Asana so much she swapped to Kiriko. Then I continued to terrorize her anyways. Funny how that one works. With the end of that game, however, I finished all my weeklies with 55 minutes to spare. So, the next day, I would end up getting the Venture skin in the Battle Pass. And before you ask, yes, This means I went from tier 1 to tier 60 in the battle pass in just 8 days. I may have a problem, but you know what doesn't have a problem? This Venture skin. Look at them, they look so cool, and yes, caked the fuck up. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this skin. Why do I hear boss music? So, in the next game, our tank didn't know what the fuck they were doing. By the end of the enemy's push, they had a total of 2 kills and 4 deaths. So, no amount of sloppy venture love could save it. Did I really just say sloppy venture love? Why did I say sloppy venture love? So, what about the next game? Well, our tank didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Oh, no. Oh, yes. I'll play Winston Overwatch into a Ryan May comp as opposed to literally anything else. This is the only way. Luckily, his ass got called out by the enemy DPS. But, okay, the next game, our tank was a lesbian, so I had full faith in her. We started off strong, but after a while, we started losing the points fast. One thing I started to notice was that I hate Zarya suddenly. It's not one of those, I think this character is poorly designed and I hate them enough to refuse to play them type of characters. No, I know I am petty for hating her, but shut up. Why must my team charge her bubbles? Why must she always know where I am? Why can't Zarya miss me when I try and kill their supports? I just want to kill the supports. Why, Zarya? Why? Our lesbian tank was actually good. Maybe she could have tried someone other than Ramatra into the Zarya comp, but I really don't know who counters who between Ramatra and Zarya. And I know what you might say, but Dizzy Lizzy, I thought you were a former Ramatra main. How don't you know? To that I'll say, yes, I was a former Ramatra main. A former Ramatra main who always played a 5-stack. So, whenever the enemy team would decide to select Zarya and she kept getting charged, all I would have to do is get a mic and say, hey dumbasses, stop fucking shooting the bubbles! And they would listen to me because I was always right. Shit, I have a massive ego. The next game we potentially could have won if we just could have stopped them right before the end of the second point. Unfortunately, we had a Doomfist. Why does this always happen to me? Fuck these tank players. Why can't tank players just know when to swap? If I had the opportunity to fill in for that slot, I goddamn would. That's a lie. I seriously hate tank in Overwatch 2. It's really sad. But as a Venture, what am I to do without a tank? What can a Venture do without a tank? Loading into the next game and we're playing Doomfist. Yep. That's another loss. And what's that? Oh, I guess I'm gonna D-rank into Platinum 5 again. There go my dreams of reaching Plat 3, and we're losing the first point. Oh, now we're winning. We're actually winning. We took the second point. Okay, well then, now, if we lose another point, that's the end. That's our loss. That means we can't lose another. The game's 1-1. This next round decides it all. Will I fall to Plat 4 or keep myself up? That, my friends, is the most recent record of my comp grind. What I hope to remind you of is that sometimes you will lose, and sometimes it's not your fault. But just remember, you're always gonna reach the rank you should be in. It may take a little bit, and you might not be the rank you want to be in. But I promise you, you'll reach your correct rank eventually. Oh, also, I've started up streaming. So, if you want to see me do this Venture grind in real time, why don't you go on and check it out over at my Twitch? Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.